Hi everyone, I hope you are enjoying the presidential election day. So I announced it previously during the class and during the email announcement. I'm creating the video, so I created this video. So this will be very helpful for your final project and the following assignments because this new coding criteria will be very useful for your methods as chi-square and also the regression and also correlation. So we can save your time by watching this video because I will cover more details in the Wednesday lab and other classes, but these will be very helpful to prepare your variables for advanced methods. Okay, so the timeline. So this is just an announcement that to see the possible timeline of this course. So there will be the SPSS Practice Exam 2 in November 18th, so it's around 2 weeks later. So the format will be very same. I will arrange the number of the questions, but format will be very same. The 24 hours, but no late submission allowed or without any documentation, as well as open book and no correlation as well. So it's all the same. And student presentation is right after the Thanksgiving break or Thanksgiving holiday week. So we will have enough time as well as resting yourself. So that will be also done through online. And as we have 3 days, including the lab, we will have enough time. So that is our plan. And the final project to do is on December 6th, and the final exam is December 8th. So you might feel that those are very tight deadline, but these are very closely related to each other. So when you finish the student presentation, even though I will upload the more detailed guideline for that, you will be able to generate. So you should be able to generate the graphs and the tables for the student presentation, and also the data presentation and the description of the data and the conclusion. So it means that you will have mostly needed for the final project, because in final project you need to add the tables, I mean the descriptive tables, and also the analysis and the result tables. So these are very related, and after finishing your presentation, you will be mostly ready to write up or finalizing the final project. So I will upload more details very soon. And the final exam, there's the very fixed time and fixed day, so I cannot change anything. So I will also announce more about that, but the format will be very same with the midterm exam. So you will have more time because as the college plan, there is assigned 3 hours, so from 8:30 and 11:30, what I remember. So you will see more details in the guideline, but this is not cumulative one. So we covered around the proportion test and mostly the t-test. So from ANOVA, there will be the exam questions as well as the lab. So lab contents after the midterm. So before the contents covered in midterm or before midterm, technically these will be not covered in the final exam. All right. So reverse coding is one trick or one skill that this is very required for the chi-square and also correlation and the regression, because we will be using the direction of the relationship. For example, if there is positive relationship, if there is negative relationship, it means that changes in one variable or changes in independent variable is alongside with or moving together with the direction or the changes of the another variable, such as dependent variable. So I will show more details in examples later. But the criteria and the standard is that some attributes in the categorical variable or some attributes in metric variable, meaning more positive, meaning more stronger, or meaning larger, those attributes should be assigned in the bigger numbers. Oh my gosh. Bigger numbers or larger numbers in the values. Yeah. So the more positive or more stronger, more larger. For example, more income or better health or having more days in the bad health state like that. So sometimes your target of the research is probably the bad health status or the well health status. So based on your intention, based on your topic, you will need to choose which criteria or which coding would be more relevant. So I will try to add more comments because I'm grading your final project, proposal. So the reverse coding will mean in this way. You need to code some larger or some positive or some ways of your intention to test that should be coded in the larger values in the variable. Maybe you can see more details in the example. So many of you are wanting to use the education label such as EDUC and degree variable. So actually this kind of variable, it doesn't have the problem because the larger number, you can see here, the 0 is less than high school, 1 is high school, and other values are the higher values are the higher level of education. So in this type of questionnaire or in this type of the variable, there is no problem in the interpretation because a higher number or the bigger number is the higher level of education. So if there is a positive relationship, for example, increase in education level indicate some level of direction in the dependent variable. So it's very easy to interpret because the direction of the number, the increasing number would mean the increasing level of education. So there is no problem. However, some variable has the negative coding or reverse coding, such as the higher values are coded as some lower level education. It means that increase in this variable will mean the smaller or the lower level of education. So as you can see in this single sentence, you can see there is fluctuations of your interpretation. As you say, the increase in education variable will mean the decrease of the education level. So we don't need to have this kind of trick in the variable. So that's why we are having the reverse coding issue. The possible relationship, for example, independent variable increases, the dependent variable decreases. For example, the age and the height probably. So if age increases, generally the height increases by certain level of age. It's not in general, but in any way, we can see that if the age increases, the height increases. Or if the height increases, maybe the weight increases. So in general, it's not in the universal, but in general, if age increases or if the weight increases, the height also increases. This is possible positive relationship. And the example of the negative relationship is if they have social class and if they have higher social class, for example, it may related with the number of the bad health days. So it means that if they have higher social class, right? If they have higher social class, they will have lower number of bad health days. So in this type of relationship, that is negative relationship because increase in the independent variable will be associated with the decrease in the dependent variable. So this is what we call the direction of the relationship. If they move in together, if they move in same direction, increase means increase in the both variables, there will be positive relationship. In opposite, if they're moving in the opposite direction, that's negative relationship. So this is what I covered in Thursday in the correlation, the positive correlation. If you can see that increase in your independent variable is allocated with the increase in dependent variable, and this is opposite when your independent variable increases, your dependent variable decreases. And if there's no relationship, there's no linear relationship, so we cannot find any association. So whether the independent increases, there is no clear distinction or there is no clear changes in the dependent variable. So this is no relationship. Alright, so this kind of variable is not very useful because this variable is coded as condition of health, right? When we perceive the condition of health and so for example, in case you're listening some example that condition of health increases, for example, you might feel that very intuitive way, increase in health variable might mean the better health. Again, increase or higher value in health variable. It might mean, so it should mean the better health. However, this variable is coded as the lower number. So lower number is better health, and the larger number is the bad health, for example. So this is the problematic because you can see that in the positive relationship, increases in health variable is actually decrease in the health level. And then so positive relationship between condition of health and income is actually the less number in health variable is positively related with the income variable. So in this kind of interpretation, it's very confusing and not good at all. So that's why we are using the LeetCode method to align those numbers. So higher value is representing or corresponding to the higher or better health condition. Okay, I will let you know the example high. So this is all the value of the health variable. So I wanted to have this table to help you. In old value, so excellent was coded as 1, 2, 3, 4, good, fair, poor. There is coded as in those ways. But in our new variable, the excellent should be coded as 4 as the highest number, good, the next, fair, and poor. So in this new variable, we will have the higher value as the better health condition, and the lower value mean some poorer health condition. So this is how to do it, and let me show you how to do it. So you can go to the transform as you did in the recoding and recoding the different variables and reset. So maybe this is the health variable. I mean the original variable is the health variable. And why don't we use the name of the new variable as Lee Health, because we are doing the reverse coding. And the label is recoded health. Okay, so this is the name and all the values, and make sure to click change once so that you are intending, so letting the SPS program know you are intending to change this variable into the new variable. Alright, so there is the coding criteria here, right? So old value 1 will be 4 because the excellent category should be the highest number. So let's say 2 is 3, okay? 3 in new variable, old variable is 2 in our new variable. And the old value for poor will be 1 in our new variable. So you can see that they are same, right? And continue, and okay. Right, so as you might remember, you can change the label of the variable because sometimes you need to find or you need to check the exact category in the frames table. So 1 is poor because in our new variable on poor is 1. 2 is fair. 3 is good. And 4 is excellent. Excellent. Right? Okay, and okay. Right, so we are ready. So you can see the table in that way. I will let you know how to create that table or frequency table. So the frequency table on the left-hand side is the original health variable, and this variable is what we coded just before. So Lee Health, and here, all right, and okay. So you can see it here and here, and the poor is 84, and poor is 84 in our new variable as well, and excellent 359, and excellent 359. So in this way, our interpretation will be much easier because the excellent health condition. So excellent health condition is the higher number. For example, in the chi-square test, and I will cover tomorrow, the two ordinal variables would have some same relationship or the group relationship, or there will be some positive or negative relationship between those two ordinal variables. Because in ordinal variable, we can perceive some direction of the relationship. So this will be some required method you will need to have in your variable for your chi-square test for ordinal variable. Okay. Alright, so I will cover more details tomorrow, but this is just a preview. The dummy coding is used for regression usually. So when you interpret the regression analysis, this is far different from the t-test and ANOVA and or even correlation, because you can add multiple independent variables regardless of the nominal or ordinal or metric variable. But when you have categorical variable as one of the independent variables of the regression, you need to do the dummy coding. So in your proposal, if I suggest you to use the regression, you will need to know the dummy coding criteria for your categorical independent variables. Okay, so regardless of the level of measurement, you can create the dummy variable. For the regression. So the final boss of the method class in this semester, you need to have this dummy coding. And the reference category should be coded as 0. So the reference category you want to compare your target category. So it's based on your topic. In case you are gonna use the race as one of your independent variable in multiple regression or regression, you can check one race as maybe you want to compare the black and other categories or black or other races because you want to see the racial disparities of the income. In that way, you can make a dummy variable as coding the black as 1 and the other two races as 0. So that will help you to test whether there is the income differentials by the black or other race distinctions. So that's example. So this is an example, right? Maybe you can use race variable as independent variable and the race variable as IV independent variable and dependent variable as income because you can see the racial differentials. And in case you are gonna use the black variable, the black race as our target, as you wanna test whether there is the income differential by the black and other races, you can make the dummy variable using the race variable. So this is the coding criteria of the original race variable. 0 is IP. So as you said, in the independent variable of the regression, you will need to code 0 as a reference category, which means there are other races other than black. So black should be coded as 1 in new variable, and white and other races should be coded as 0. So this is criteria for your interpretation in regression. Right, so this is the value in the new and the old variables. So you can go race variable. So name is maybe we are testing the black, so maybe black race. Dummy variable for black race, for example. And old and new values. Alright, so 2 in old variable is black. So in our new variable, 1 is black. So in this way. So it's done. So every other races should be coded as 0, right? So it should be 0 like that. Fun. So 2 is 1 in our new variable. So black is 1 in our new variable. And else is 0 in our new variable. Okay? And okay. And if you go to the SPSS and the new variable, and you can see there is the label And you can know that 0 is other races because we coded other white and other races in the as 0, and 1 is black. Okay, and then maybe we can create the frequency table as a race, and then black race, here it is. Okay, and then we can have this result. Okay, we can have this white and black and other, and black is 385 and black is 385, and white and other, they are the summed up. So 16.4 is invalid percent, black in total and in our new variable as well. And other races is 83.6%, which is a sum of the 72.1 and 11.5. So we can double check the recode was very well done. Alright, so the summary is that the reverse coding, this is required when you need to check the direction of the relationship in chi-square, and if you use a metric variable in the correlation and the regression as well. So aligning the attribute in order, that's very important. And the dummy coding, that's also important for your interpretation of the categorical variable in the regression. So we will cover more about the dummy coding when we cover the regression. Alright, so this is just a remedy for the canceled class, so just a reference issue, and it will be very helpful for the lab assignment I will give tomorrow. So watch this video and be ready to the lab tomorrow. Alright, so hope you enjoy the lesson day and stay safe. Not sure we need to stay safe in other area, but I plan to do my lecture in my home even though there is some internet issue. We are not sure what will happen tomorrow in terms of the safety issue. So, okay, so see you in the lab via the Zoom from my home tomorrow. Okay, enjoy your day and stay warm. See you tomorrow.